stand before you today and honor those of you who know so much more than me. To those who have fought to preserve what I am here to uphold. Those freedoms that allow my family and your family to live in this great nation without fear, so that our children and their children can grow up and be able to live the American dream. Today is one of those moments where we pay tribute to those who have forged our history and hold closely the memories of those so recently lost. Even as we gather here this morning, all across America, people are pausing to remember, to mourn, and to pray. We are once again an eternally grateful nation. For without their bravery and their grandness of sacrifice, we would not be the nation we are today. Today is also one of those moments where we pay tribute to all those that have given their lives for this country. Old soldiers all across this nation are pulling themselves up a little bit straighter to salute brothers and sisters lost a long time ago. Their sacrifice of life for our freedom must never be forgotten as a community and a nation. We must always remember our first responders, police, fire, our servicemen and women. These fallen heroes did not die in vain. We must remember that their devotion to duty and commitment to our freedom must never be forgotten.
By the Continental Congress, the Army has prevailed ever since, discharging its mission as the nation's defender. This flag is flown with valor and distinction from the Revolutionary War to Operation Desert Storm and to today's War on Terror. Presenting the flag of the United States Army is Jonathan Robbins, who represents the more than 876,000 soldiers killed in action and the more than 1.2 million wounded during its 238-year history. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of the United States Army. Today, this flag carries forth the time-honored tradition saying the Marines have landed and the situation is well in hand. Presenting the flag of the Marine Corps is Mike Slattengram, who represents the more than 48,000 Marines killed in action and the more than 165,000 wounded during its 238-year history. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of the United States Marine Corps. Enclosed in a cable-laid rope with its dark blue field and golden fringe, the center depicts the three-masted ship, a conventional anchor, and the American eagle. Dennis Giovancavalli, easy for me to say, is holding the flag of the United States Navy, representing the more than 78,000 naval personnel killed in action and the more than 47,000 wounded in action during its 238-year history. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of the United States Navy. within the flag. The American bald eagle represents the United States and its mighty air power. The blue background represents the sky, and the white clouds behind the eagle show the start of a new sky. The original 13 colonies are represented by 13 white encircling stars. Proudly presenting the flag of the United States Air Force is John T.J. Trujillo, who represents the more than 4,200 airmen killed in action and the more than 2,000 wounded in action during its 66-year history. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of the United States Air Force.
Thank you for your service, sir.
This flag represents a branch of the armed services that has fought in every war, saved billions of dollars worth of property from shipwrecks and floods, and has rescued hundreds of thousands of people during disasters. The flag of the United States Coast Guard is being held by Cliff DeCure, who is representing more than 2,100 men and women killed in action during its 223-year history. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of the United States Coast Guard.
I attended 4 different high schools, and I'm not proud of any of that. My mother used to tell me an old Cherokee tale, Two Wolves. She said there's a fight going inside all of us between 2 wolves. One is evil. It is anger, jealousy, greed, arrogance, lies, self-pity, resentment, inferiority, and ego. The other is good. It's joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth. When I asked what determined which wolf wins, she used to tell me, the one you feed. I had chosen to feed the bad wolf for too long and needed to change my life to avoid wasting my whole life away. Luckily, I had enough sense to join the Marine Corps. And as you know, if a Marine drill instructor cannot get you on the right track, no one can. To this day, I've never seen anything more perfect than a Marine Corps drill instructor. In fact, I like the Marine Corps so much, I transferred to a reserve reconnaissance unit in Albuquerque and attended recon and combat dive school. After going to school for a year, I was getting impatient, and I heard the SEAL teams were just like the Marine Corps, but you didn't have to get a haircut every week. So I asked my commanding officer, Major Roberto, for a conditional release to go on active duty in the Navy. And surprisingly, he saw my passion and agreed. The reason I tell you my background is because I know there are a lot more kids out there like I was on the fast track to nowhere. I also know if they make the choice to do something they're passionate about, whether it requires attending college, joining the military, or anything else, they too can turn their lives around. It's lost its place in the world. Don't let the Blame America First crowd get you down. It's just not true, folks. Those of you here and those that travel know better. Lieutenant Colonel White put it best when he said, "I will never apologize for being an American, and you shouldn't either. We're not perfect, but I can think of no better place on earth. We didn't become the greatest country on earth by accident, we earned it. And while we were at it, we kept and continued to keep a large part of the world free. Just ask any of the veterans sitting here today. American blood and sacrifice for others around the world is an undisputable part of the world equation. Americans stand up for what's right. We do not turn a blind eye to evil. Americans stand up for those that cannot stand up for themselves. When Aisha Muhammad Hatsi, husband cut her nose off, mutilated her ears, beat her, and left her to dead, America stood up for her. A great American, Dr. Peter Grossman at the Grossman Burn Center in California, made a prosthetic nose as a short-term fix with plans to conduct an 8-month surgery to reconstruct her ears, mind you, free of charge. If a woman in Afghanistan gets beat by her husband and burned with acid, Americans show up to do something about it. If 8-year-old schoolgirls want to go to school in Iraq, want the same opportunity we have here in America, men like General Mattis send his best 19-year-old Marines to stand guard while these girls safely walk to school. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, men that came back from World War II and Vietnam built the greatest infrastructure the world has ever seen. America leads the world in military force. We have the most innovative and entrepreneurial people in the world, and I'm not just talking about Steve Jobs and CEOs like Jamie Dimon. Up and down the line, America has the best businesses in the world, small, medium, and large. More people are trying to come to our shores than any other country. We remain a beacon of hope for many, and God willing, it will always be so. We're number one. Don't ever apologize for it. Just be damn proud of it. Thank you for your time.
And the importance of honoring those who fought and died so we could be free was something that we treated with a lot of reverence. I understood it then, but I feel it now, and I thought I would share with you why. When I was 15, my mom suggested that I join a young Marine unit that had just activated at Fort Sheridan. I was a sophomore in high school, just trying to figure out what my place would be in the world. The Young Marine Unit was located at a Marine Corps Reserve Center, and it was staffed by all active duty Marines that are doing exactly what I do now, preparing reservists for combat. But there was no combat then. It was August 2001. Those Marines were just a couple years older than me, but part of a world that held more weight and responsibility than I could fathom. They were pushing us through Young Marine boot camp the following month when life as we knew it changed. It did to me, at least. To them, it was just a part of it all, but I was terrified. They just put on some desert camouflage and got on a bus, bound for a place they knew they might not return from. They told me they weren't afraid because they had each other. They were just regular guys who answered the call of our country, a place where a high school sophomore like me could be free to have no concept of the gravity of war. I am where I am now, and really we all are, because of heroes like them. Every day is Memorial Day to me. I work with heroes every day, and every day the absence of those who are no longer here is palpable. It's palpable because I miss them, but also because they have made it, so that this American life is one where our right to the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness is and will always be protected. These men and women in uniform gave everything for us, asking nothing in return. We owe it to them to remember those who gave us the greatest gift of all, our freedom.
What it meant to those who made that ultimate sacrifice. The sacrifice felt daily still by our Gold Star families around the country and in this community here in Danville and around the Bay, who will mourn and feel the void left by a son, a daughter, a father, or a mother. For me, Memorial Day is a chance to honor and remember those I knew, men such as Todd Godwin, Richard Lord, Michael Law, Cesar Machado Olmos, David Caruso and Lonnie Wells, Dan Malcolm, R.J. Jimenez, Nathan Anderson, Nick Ziolkowski, Billy Miller, Brad Parker, Demetrius Gabriel, DeMarcus Brown, Jensen Marcoux, Jeff Holmes.
We are alive.